When you picture your life and all the things you're going to do in it, and then somebody says, I need to let you know that I'm going to steal one of your senses. And I'm not going to tell you when that's going to happen, but eventually it's going to happen. It really throws you sideways. You realize that there are significant life events that you'll be at attendance for, but you won't see them. When you're first losing your sight, you have no idea that people don't see the way you do. Probably in my mid-teens, about 15, I was in a regular eye appointment, and the doctor noticed something unusual as he looked through the scope into my eye, and at the time couldn't really identify what it was. What they decided was what they label as an unknown, an X factor. Something was wrong, definitely. Couldn't figure out what it was at the time. At about the age of 20, I got referred to a specialist, a low vision specialist, who happened to specialize in a rare eye disease that ran in my family, and he was the one who finally diagnosed me with having choroideremia. At first, there's a little bit of numbness when you get news like that, and so what was going through my mind was realizing that someday if I had children, that I might not ever see what their spouses look like, that I might not ever see what my grandchildren look like, that I'd never know if they had my son's nose or my daughter's eyes, or whatever the case may be, those things that go through everyone's head when you're kind of planning your life. Early on, the realization came to me that really there's just two choices in life. I could curl up and stay home and bemoan my fate and cry about it and achieve absolutely nothing else in life. Or, you know, you could just stand up and brush off the dirt and say, it is what it is, and move forward. And that was my choice, was just to press forward. When you have a progressive loss of eyesight, you hit periods where you start to walk away from things that become too difficult to do, and you don't know how else to do them, and so you just give up on them. And that's where I was when I found Bosma. I decided it was time. I had walked away from the career that I had. It was getting too difficult to do, and I was starting to use a cane full time, and I finally just hit a point where I had to confess that I needed those things. I needed help. I wasn't able to do the things that I was doing before, and it just made sense to me that the self-deception of I can get by in the sighted world with only limited sight, it was time to let that go. It was time to just own it and get comfortable with who I was. The greatest thing that I got from Bosma was my life back. It was hope. It was the realization that I could have anything that I wanted still. One of the things that I think is probably what I would consider one of their primary focuses is really just to get you ready to get out there and pursue your own efforts at finding a job again. That Bosma's a place where they can reacquire life. You can learn how to utilize your phone with the screen blanked out. You can learn how to use iPads. You can learn how to cook and how to clean and do all the things that in your mind logically don't make sense to be able to do without your vision, but they're going to walk you through that process. And there's something comforting about that, because nobody wants everything done for them. The healthiest disabled people I know are ones who insist on pushing the envelope of finding out what they can do. And Bosma helps set people up to be those kinds of successful people.